everybody. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest tonight is a Formula One driver who has won 8 Grand Prix races and who you've seen in Netflix's Drive to Survive. Please welcome to The Late Show, Daniel Ricciardo.
What you say?
Please. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Now, I don't know if you saw what I was saying earlier in the show, is that I am just amazed by the explosion of fandom in Formula One in the United States. I mean, this doesn't exist even 5 years ago in the United States. To what do you attribute this explosion of popularity now in the States?
I was going to say something serious, but I think ultimately it's probably my good looks.
I mean, that's pretty serious.
Yeah.
That's pretty serious, too. Yeah, exactly.
I think it's, look, the Drive to Survive series on Netflix kind of blowing up. I think that's put it on the map worldwide, but...
What season is it in right now?
So they're about to go into season 5.
Okay.
Which is pretty wild. And it's, I think, like, there's parts of the world where it's always been big. You know, like Europe, Formula One's always existed, you know, for many, many, many years. And there's always been, like, a core following there, but it never really... Let's say, I mean, I knew like the States, I feel it was inevitable to blow up here because you do sports so well. And it was just, I would say a matter of time, but I feel like it accelerated through this Drive to Survive show now.
Why is it so big in Europe? Like, why was it so big there first?
I think, I mean, that's like the hub of motorsport and Formula One. Like a lot of the teams are based there. So even like me coming from Australia, that's where... So that's where I knew I needed to be. I needed to be in Europe. I needed to be there. That's where like a lot of the teams, the sponsors are, and ultimately the industry. So there's probably some history behind that. I can't.
What are the fans like in different parts of the world? Can you hear a crowd or look at a crowd and go, I know where I am in the world based on what that crowd is like?
Yeah. So I mean, Australians and Americans are very similar. I feel like just very like rowdy, fun. Like let's hang for a beer later. But then you have, I think like the real fun one is as well is Japan, because you have like complete both sides where they're the most intense and knowledgeable, like to a point where they're close to being stalkers, but then they're also so respectful and polite. So that's like a real interesting one as well.
What's the best circuit? I have a dear friend, Katie Dancy, who's out in the audience tonight, and she is a friend of mine who in the last few years she's become obsessed, and she's here tonight because you're here, okay?
Thank you.
And she asked me to pass along this question: best circuit to be a fan versus best circuit to be a driver? So
for a fan, and I know this, I'm in America, but it's truth. Like I love Austin. Like that one's, it's really fun.
Good barbecue too.
Yeah, the barbecue, the music. It's just it's its own kind of atmosphere, and I think that's really special. So it's not the only one, but that's certainly one that I love going to, and I'll probably continue to go to just as a fan in the future. But for a driving experience, I think Monaco is like that's like our crown jewel.
I heard a rumor that they were going to eliminate Monaco. Do you think Monaco's going to continue?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah,
because it's the classic.
Yeah, that's like it's a staple, and it's to win that it's so prestigious, and it's like it's glamorous. It's kind of what I would say like when you think of F1, you think of like the Monaco Grand Prix, like the yachts, the celebrities, the race. It's everything. So that one will stay.
Let's talk about the athleticism of being a Formula One racer, because people don't automatically, people who haven't been watching this documentary, don't automatically think of the athleticism required to do it. What kind of training do you need to do, and what are the muscles you're working on to, work the paddles?
Yeah. So I used to get angry at that when you're like, had a little dig there, all you do is work the paddles. But no, it's one of the very few sports that you can relate to. So when people like, I don't get it, you have to be fit, all you do is just sit and drive. So I used to kind of snap back and be like, no, it's a real sport, we have to be athletes. But it's, again, no one actually can say, if you want to go, oh, I want to drive an F1 car tomorrow, like you can't. There's 20 of us that do it in the world. It's not very accessible. So it's
20, that's it.
Yeah, 20 drivers on the grid, which is wild in itself, I feel. But yeah, it's mainly the G-forces. Like that's the big one.
How many G's are you pulling on a tight turn?
So I would say up around, definitely over 5. Like, so
Wow.
I would say most corners, and most circuits have corners, which we reach 5 or more Gs.
And how many times are you doing that in
Yeah.
a circuit?
So we do, so say an average, maybe a race is 60 laps, so it's about 90 minutes long, and there's whatever, 12, 15 corners every lap. So who's good at math? I don't know. It's a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A bunch.
Yeah.
A bunch.
So you need the strength to just hold on, and the neck, so our neck muscle is the biggest one that needs to sustain those forces, and the neck is a weird muscle to train, but also when it fatigues, it's, I don't know, in the gym I feel like you can always like squeeze out one more rep.
Yes.
Where the neck, it's like a switch, like when it goes, it goes.
Have you ever been driving and suddenly you just went ragdoll?
Yeah.
What's that like?
So when I first got into F1, because also nothing really prepares you for F1, so you kind of have to learn the hard way. And what's it like? It's just pain, it's misery, it's...
Because you got to keep driving.
Yeah, and you can't do it very well because your head's going everywhere, like you lose your line of sight. So it's the few times you want a mechanical failure, so you just want it to be over.
Would you call yourself an adrenaline junkie?
Yeah.
Do you do other dangerous things? Like, do you juggle chainsaws? What else? Have you bungee jumped?
I'm not a psycho.
Have you bungee jumped?
I haven't bungee jumped.
Well, I got that on you.
Yeah,
Bungee
so...
jump. There you go. That's acceleration, 32 feet per second, my friend.
Is it? I skydived, and that was already like above and beyond, because I'm kind of scared of heights.
I'm very scared of heights. I would never skydive. Because at
See,
least
I
I know I'm tied to the bridge.
See, bungee seems more scary.
Why? Because the impact would be quicker?
It seems more like real. I don't know, because you're staring at the ground like...
You're looking at the rocks,
Yeah.
exactly.
Where did you do it?
In New Zealand.
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, exactly.
Would you recommend it?
No, I would not recommend it.
Okay.
Well, listen, it was just lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for being here. Season 5 of Drive to Survive premieres February 24th on Netflix. Daniel Ricciardo, everybody. We'll be right back.